Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I wanted to jump in and just chat with you guys for a little bit, let you know how things are going. Things are going good, actually. Phone. Junk call. He called me sir. It was an actual person too. I've only had my mother home for 2 nights, and it was just a lot at the beginning. Even just having her brought home from the hospital. For those of you who don't know, she was in a nursing home for over 6 months, and then went to the ER, and then went to the hospital, and then was determined she needed hospice care or whatever I would have decided on. I decided on hospice care, and I took her home. I have done hospice 2 other times, once with my father until the end, and once with my brother for longer, and he recovered enough to leave the hospice program. So I'm very familiar with their services, but that was a little while back, '04 and '06. And, so I had forgotten how just awesome hospice is and how helpful. So I wanted my mother home, and I know a lot of people say, oh, you're doing, the best thing and this and that. I want people to know that hospice at home is not an option for everyone, and I don't want people to feel guilty in any way if they don't decide to do that. There's a lot of reasons why somebody would not want that, and one of them is that it is still a lot of physical work. I have help, but I don't have help around the clock or exactly when I need it for like big messes that I would like to have help for. Those kinds of things. I don't sleep during the night because I need to get up and do things, although last night was pretty good. I think I slept better than I have in months. So, everybody should do what they feel is best for themselves, really first. You have to be prepared to do whatever it is you're going to do. And if you feel like you won't be able to do it, well, then don't. You can't say, well, I have to do it because that's what that person wants. You'd be useless, in that case. So it's one of the reasons that I like not having anybody comment and give feedback, because people don't realize sometimes saying things like, oh, it's a blessing that you're doing that. For the other people who have decided against doing that, it can make them feel really bad. And nobody should feel bad. Everybody handles things a different way. I'm going to be honest with you. It is easier for me. I am okay with physical work to an extent. That is easier for me than to have to leave my house and visit or make calls to ask how my mother is. I hate that. Bring her home. I know what's going on. Let people come here. I'll do all the physical work I have to do. And, I'm jumping back into like over 6 months of not even having the kind of food she eats in this house, because I eat meat. She eats junk. And, so it was like all rush. I had to, make sure she had some of her favorite foods. I had to put her bed not together, but make the bed again, rearrange the whole room. I knew she couldn't be next to a wall. We need access on both sides. So I did all that alone. My arms and shoulders are killing me. The hospital bed weighs a ton, and it wasn't even on wheels because I had taken the wheels off to make it a little lower for when she was here. And I had the wheels, and one at a time I managed to get the wheels back under there. So it was a lot of hurry up and let's get all this stuff done. I haven't even thought about like decluttering or packing for moving for 3 or 4 days whenever this started. I don't even remember. So it was just a whole lot at the beginning, and we're just making, we're doing the best that we can as we go. And now I feel like today I actually had a chance to breathe. Nobody came here today except the guy with oxygen. I've never dealt with oxygen, so that's new for me. It seems very easy. She doesn't need to be on it all the time, but there's times that she does get very winded and can't really catch her breath, so we have oxygen for that. Yesterday she had a nurse that we met for the first time, her personal aide that we met for the first time. She'll have 2 nurses and 2 personal aides that will swap off. And then tomorrow we're meeting the nurse is coming again and the personal aide again, and then we're meeting the social worker And today, like I said, was oxygen. I think that's going to be pretty much it. And then, people will just be coming and going as they please. I'm going to be flexible with the schedules. So that's where we stand. Last night, the first night, she didn't sleep at all. And she seemed confused and very antsy and was constantly playing with her bed, up, down, up, down. And I'm cool with that. I would just say, Mom, let me fix it. I'm sleeping next to her. I have the couch that she had in that room, like parallel to her bed. So I'm right there, and I'm glad because I wouldn't be able to hear her really if I was in the other room. Especially like just the bed up and down. I didn't care that it was keeping me awake. Actually, noise like that could help me sleep. But I was concerned that she was, she seemed stressed out, and I wanted to, try to stop that, but it didn't. She played with the bed all night. And I didn't like that sign of confusion because I'm familiar with that with my father and my brother too. And I was sad. But the next day, she seemed great. So last night, she slept like through the night to the point where I even like woke her and like, Ma, you okay? And she was like, she looked like, who are you? I mean, so she looked confused, and I thought, okay, she's just, deep sleeping. But again, I worried now because she was sleeping too much and too hard and all night, and she was still sound asleep when I woke up this morning kind of late. And I did wake her, and she was confused for a minute, and then she was like, I'm gonna get up today. I want to get up and get in my chair. And I did put her in a chair yesterday, but it was hard. I mean, it was hard today too, but she seemed to have more strength today. So probably because she got a good night's sleep. So it's like I'm always worried. I'm always waiting. But the thing is I don't think this is going to be like anytime really soon. I don't know. Anything can turn around, but I'm in good spirits. I am. I'm up for the job. I am totally taking steps back from my regular work, but I'm still doing some when I can because it's important that I have something normal in my life. So I'm going to try to cut some fabric tonight and get a few things listed for my exclusive shoppers. Not so much that I'm going to be overwhelmed with packages and things like that because I have to plan what can I handle today and what will that create for work for me for tomorrow, like packages and things like that. I got to keep that small because I never know when all of a sudden things can change drastically and I have to do something else. And I'm sure everybody understands that. And if not, well, tough shit because that's the way it's going to be. But I know everybody's cool with all of this. So I'm just very fortunate that I can work from home so that it does give me something that I can still do. And very, very fortunate to have Hospice. They're an awesome organization. Whether you do it at home or not, you can still be involved with Hospice. They have Hospice homes, so it's still like a home environment, but not in your home. I believe some just stay in the hospital. I don't know. She could have probably gone back to the nursing home. I just knew that was completely out. No. I have enough issues with the nursing home and probably with all nursing homes. It's not my cup of tea to have anybody in a nursing home. And again, that's just me. That's just me. If you have loved ones in a nursing home and you're happy with the care they're getting, that's awesome. There are good nursing homes. I just wasn't thrilled with the way some stuff was being done. And I'm not going to get into details with that, but I think everybody has some complaints maybe about a nursing home. It can't be perfect. But again, I just don't feel like, but the nursing homes literally, I don't know if it even takes me 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, 5 minutes to get to the nursing home. It's down the street. And I would do that probably 5 times a day because it's so close. But because of COVID, I have to make an appointment. I don't like that. I actually don't make a call. I was like, I have to make a call, but I do it via email. But then I have an appointment that weighs heavily on me. I have to do this at this time. I'm a complicated creature. So I'd rather have somebody home so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. There's enough stress. I don't need the stress of having to visit and make calls and schedule appointments and worrying about COVID and COVID outbreak. I haven't seen my mother for a month or more. I think it's 5 weeks because of a COVID outbreak, and so I couldn't see her. And you think I would want her as a hospice case in a home or even a hospital or even the hospice house and take a chance that I can't even be with her? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. But again, some people would choose that, and that's okay. I'm just making the choices that work for me, and I knew, her being home, she would rather have that than the nursing home. Oh my God. I feel like I got off track somehow. And here's the other thing. Her going to Mississippi is not completely out of the question. I can't drop that plan because I've been working on it all fucking year. And she still says she'd like to go to Mississippi. I know she's saying it because she wants it for me. She wants me to be able to have that. And I've already talked to hospice and everything. In fact, it could end up being good that she ended up under hospice because, my mother's 98 and a half. Hospice or not, we know she's not going to live a very long time. You know what I mean? She's 98 and a half. Yeah, she could, make it to 105 on a good, note. But I don't think that's happening at this point. But I'm just saying, I just want to I don't want life to stop because my mother is old and sick now. I want life to keep going. For me, for her, for Derek. I want to continue with this plan. And if my mother can be stable, and hospice said, even if she's not stable, you can still move her. Meaning, what's the worst that's going to happen? She dies? Well, we're expecting that anyway. So they're just so cool about it. What's good about the fact that she's in the hospice program now is they would get me all set up in Mississippi before I even get there. And so a lot of the pressure would be gone now. I would not be moving my mother to a nursing home that I have no clue if she's going to like or they're going to be any good, which is about 20 minutes away from me now. Still needs appointments. So, that was like really making me nervous. Now I know I would be moving her to my apartment with a bed that hospice provides, and, not for keeps, but they would provide that, and a potty chair if she can still use a potty chair. Whatever she would need, they would supply that. So I would be able to have her in my home with some help, and I would absolutely be willing to pay out of pocket, private pay for, there's one company in particular, I can't even remember the name of it right now. It's somewhere in these stacks of papers. And I could hire help, and even if I wanted somebody to come and stay the night, if I want to sleep and have somebody there in case she needs me, needs me or needs help during the night. So there's a lot of options here. What does that mean though? A whole lot of more planning. I have canceled her ride. I haven't called the nursing home yet to cancel that, but I have to do that. I canceled, what's the other thing? Oh, the truck for my stuff. I canceled my appointment to have my car have a complete checkup to see if it would make the ride to Mississippi without, maybe it needs work. I canceled that. I still would like that for my car, but I can't make an appointment for that because I can't leave my mother for that long that it takes for that appointment. So I still have to cancel the flights. I'm going to try to do that tonight. So I have a lot of canceling that I did and have to still do. And then I immediately have to start with plan B in case it's possible for me to bring my mother. And if it's not possible for my mother to make that trip for whatever reason, then I'll be making mine after, after my mother's time is up. Because I have an apartment there. I want to be with Derek. But I would like to bring her. I would like to know that I got her there, and that's how I'm starting my life. And then I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I guess I'm gonna. I can't choose this, right? It's gonna be up to her and where she dies. Just like it's and it's not even up to her. She doesn't know. We don't know. None of us know. The thing is about death is a lot of people act like they don't realize that we're all gonna die. And when I say that, people say, "Don't talk like that." And I'm like, "What do you mean, don't talk like that?" Who Who doesn't know this, you know? So I almost can joke about it. This family has joked about death for as long as I know. And, you know, my mother jokes about it even now. My mother does have a very good sense of humor. And I know we've had a rocky entire lifetime relationship, but right now it's good because right now it's you know, it's hitting home, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. But I'm happy that I have the still the ability to be able to take care of her, you know, that I have enough energy and physical strength that I can, you know, still do everything, except I can't slide her up that fucking bed. I don't know how come they can't come up with a bed or some kind of system, because it gets to the point you slide so much that when you put the bed up, it's just like lifting just your neck as opposed to your whole body. So nurse is coming tomorrow, and we're going to work on that. But anyway, I just wanted to jump in and tell you guys that right now, things are good. Okay? Thank you so much. I still am going to always request that I don't want conversations about this with me. I can't stop what you say elsewhere. I don't even care to stop what you say elsewhere. But I'm asking people not to comment contact me in any way, because I'm just not into that. I'm just not. I'd rather pretend that I'm all alone here, even though I'm talking to YouTube. I do YouTube for a living. I'm not always honest about that. So I'm keeping my channel going, and I'm talking about whatever's going on in my life at the time, and this is what's going on. I do appreciate you guys watching. I understand that everybody cares. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Most people care, and I understand that people find deep need to tell somebody that they care. I don't quite understand that, but I'm going to tell you, with me, you don't need to do that. I know you care. And for those of you who pray, I know you're going to pray. That I don't need to know that for it to work if you think it's going to work. I don't need, I don't know. I just don't need it. I got enough shit going on in my life that I would like my outside world, meaning my eyeballs and my earballs, to not really have to read a whole lot of stuff or hear a lot of things. And I know that sounds like I'm a big bitch, but I'm just being honest with you, and I'm telling you what works for me. And that's good. It might not work for you, but it's what works for me. And I do appreciate for those of you who understand that, or at least, go along with what I ask. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.